not us falling in love with a psycho doctor who drugs us to make us fall in love with us by gaslighting us. I really hope that's not the case. Hi guys, and welcome to this demo playthrough of Prescription Love. So of course, for this Valentine's themed month, I am going to be playing lots of dating sims, and this one actually caught my eye. I literally just went on itch.io and just typed in romance for like the most popular romance games, and this one stuck out to me. Yeah, so I'm already drawn in by the the doctor. Already drawn in by the doctor, I'm assuming. But I know nothing about it. I just saw it, downloaded it, averted my eyes from any description. All I know that this is a demo and not a full game. But aside from that, let's go ahead and get started. A sharp, blinding light pierces through my eyelids as I slowly open my eyes. My limbs feel heavy and unresponsive, as if the bed had become a part of me. What? I squint, trying to make sense of my surroundings, but everything is a blur. The sterile smell of disinfectant is biting at my nose. The rhythmic beeping of machines fills the room like a metronome. Oh, are we a patient? I look around disoriented, my vision slowly coming into focus. I'm lying in a bed, covered in crisp white sheets. And there's something strapped to my arm. An IV line? What's this doing in my arm? Oh, as I come to, there's a deep throbbing ache in my head that feels like it's about to split my skull from the inside. Why am I... My thoughts are fragmented, disjointed, like pieces of a puzzle, scattered in every direction. My chest tightens as the realization hits me. I can't remember anything. What happened to me? Why can't I remember anything? I close my eyes, hoping for some fragment of memory to return. Think, just think. Nothing. My breathing quickens, my hands clutching the sheets in fear. How can I not remember anything? Why is everything blank? Every effort to remember ends with nothing. Just a void where my memories should be. I try to sit up, but a sharp pain shoots through my head and I collapse back onto the pillow. My heart pounded in my ears, drowning out the faint beeping of the machines. I feel my anxiety threatening to swallow me whole when suddenly... a calm, steady voice cuts through the chaos swirling in my head. Hey, it's okay. His voice was gentle, but there's a firmness to it. It's pulling me from the brink of panic. I slowly turn my head toward the source of the voice. Oh, hi. Hi. A tall man stands beside my bed. Oh, tall, you say? He's tall, but there's nothing intimidating about him. His hair looks a little messy, like he's been here for a while. Take a deep breath. Has he been here the entire time? Do you know where you are? No, I don't, but I'm okay now that you're here. I shake my head slowly, feeling tears prick at the corners of my eyes. Everything felt unfamiliar, terrifying. The walls were too bright, too sterile. Hey, it's all right. You're in a hospital. Nothing bad is gonna happen to you here. Especially not with me around. The most important thing right now is that you're awake and talking. I take a deep breath, feeling the tightness in my chest start to loosen. Oh, I love his little smile. Ah, he's so cute. His words were meant to comfort, and they did, in a way. But they also left me with questions. So many questions that my head felt even heavier than before. Do you remember your name? Oh, right, my name. What was my name again? What is your name? Ah, yes. N-U-G-G-E-T, Nuggets. No. You know what? No. N-U-G-G-E-T, Nuggets. My name is Nuggets. Nuggets. My name is Nugget. Fantastic. That's a very good start. I should introduce myself. I'm Dr. Anselm. I was in charge of your surgery and have been overseeing your care since you were brought in. Surgery? I had surgery? What the heck happened to me? Yes, you were brought in with a traumatic brain injury. You were admitted with a skull fracture, leading to internal bleeding and swelling of the brain. Emergency surgery was crucial to relieve the pressure on your brain. I stared at him, unable to fully process the magnitude of what he was saying. Brain surgery. I had brain surgery? My stomach twists at the thought. It was a very delicate procedure, but you came through it well. Since then, I've been monitoring you closely, waiting for you to wake up. You have been unconscious for a little over 2 days. The idea that I've been under his care all this time, that he's been watching over me like while I was unconscious, is both strange and oddly comforting. I know this is a lot to take in, but I promise you're in good hands. I could see it in the way he spoke, the careful way he monitored my reactions, as if he was measuring every word to avoid overwhelming me. Overwhelming me, with the initial shock of my situation beginning to settle. A pressing question rises to the forefront of my mind. Do you know what happened to me? Did someone do this to me? For the first time, I saw a flicker of uncertainty in his expression. I'm afraid I don't have the answers that... answers to that. You were found unconscious and brought in by paramedics. Dude, watch it be like some... I really hope this is a normal romance game, because I wouldn't be surprised if he's gaslighting us right now and we're actually like in a basement or something, right? And he could be like some renowned doctor that started killing people, and we just happened to be like, I don't know, we saw him do something and then he drugged us and now we can't remember anything. Like, I swear, because the title of the game is Prescription Love, right? So I swear I'm really hoping it's just Prescription Love, a play on the fact that we fall in love with a doctor who's taking care of us, not us falling in love with a psycho doctor who drugs us to make us fall in love with us by gaslighting us. I really hope that's not the case. You were found unconscious and brought in by paramedics. From what I can tell, the significant impact suggests a forceful blow, or possibly a fall. Unfortunately, I don't have any more details beyond than that. There were no witnesses. The people who found you did not see what happened. They found you laying unconscious on the floor and called for help. A chill runs down my spine as his words sank in. No witnesses? The blank spaces in my memory suddenly feel much larger and darker. This must be a sick joke. So, no one knows how I ended up like this? I wish I had more information for you. Sometimes with injuries like this, the memory can be slow to return. Or it may never come back at all. But what's important is that we focus on your recovery. All right, anything you say, doctor, of course. I swallow hard, the knot in my throat tightening. The idea that no one knows what happened, that even I don't know what happened. Will I ever get justice? Something deep inside of me boils. Frustration, anger, fear. But then I look at Dr. Anselm, the genuine concern and kindness in his eyes, and I simply felt safe. He's been here since the beginning, watching over me, guiding my care. Even though he doesn't have all the answers, he's still here, ready to help me. Thank you for everything. I don't know how to even begin to thank you. A slight blush rises to his cheek, catching me off guard. Oh, he's so cute. He waved a hand dismissively, clearly flustered. Oh, don't be silly. You don't owe me anything, Nuggets. I'm just glad I could help. Really, I don't know how to express how grateful I am. You're too kind. He glanced away for a moment, gathering himself before turning back to me. I'm just doing my job. Watching you recover, that's more than enough for me. Whatever happens, I'm going to do everything I can to help you through it. I take a deep breath, feeling a little steadier than before. I could feel the sincerity behind his words, his modesty also endearing, or almost endearing. The way he said my name. It wasn't clinical or detached. It made me feel like I was more than just another patient to him. Oh, ooh, do we feel the spice in the room? Dr. Anselm takes a step back, giving a reassuring nod. I think it's best if you try to get some rest now. Your body still needs time to heal. I managed to grab his attention before he turned away. Wait! Can I contact my family? Just to let them know I'm okay. They haven't heard from me in days. I'm sure I must have worried them. A pang of unease hits me. Why hadn't anyone visited me? Oh, well, I'm afraid it's past the hospital's curfew. I can't make any calls at this hour. But don't worry, I'll make sure you get in touch with them first thing in the morning. The thought of waiting until morning feels like an eternity. Are you sure? I know it's the hospital's rule, but the disappointment was heavy in my voice. He sighed and gently placed a hand on my head. I know it's hard. Right now, the best thing you can do is focus on getting a good night's rest. His hand rested there a moment longer before he pulled away. Your body has been through a lot, and rest is crucial for your recovery. I promise as soon as it's morning, we'll make those calls. Your family will be the first to know. Okay, I murmured, unsure but too tired to argue. Just try to relax now. The severity of my situation still lingers, but there's also a sense of exhaustion just settling over me, pulling at my eyelids and making my body feel heavy. Maybe he's right. Maybe rest is exactly what I need right now. All right, I'll go to bed now. Thank you, Dr. Anselm. His eyes twinkled softly. You're welcome. Oh. If you need anything, don't hesitate to press the call button. Rest well. We'll talk more in the morning. With that, he turns and quietly leaves the room. All right, bye, doctor. Closing the door softly behind him. I'm left alone with my thoughts and the steady beeping of the heart monitor beside me. The room feels quiet and still, but there's a sense of safety in knowing that help is just a button press away. I close my eyes, trying to focus on my breathing, letting the sounds of the hospital fade into the background. The weight of the day presses down on me, and slowly, as I drift off, I hold onto the hope that tomorrow will bring more answers, and finally, the sound of a familiar voice. My sleep was suddenly interrupted, a soft creak that echoed through the room. My eyes flutter open, but I was too groggy to fully register the sound. Was that my imagination? I groaned internally. I can't be bothered. I shifted in bed, wanting to go back to sleep, letting my eyes close again, eager to sink back into sleep. But then I heard it again. A slow, deliberate creak, like someone was gently pushing the door. Still half asleep, I tried to ignore it. I told myself it was nothing. Maybe the nurses were checking in? I reasoned, forcing myself to relax. I squeezed my eyes shut and tried to force myself back to sleep. But that sense of unease started to creep in. I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't alone. Something didn't feel right. With a groggy sigh, I forced my eyes open again and glanced at the door. That's when I saw them. What? Oh, that is so creepy. Oh God, wait, why is it turning this way? Wait, I just realized, wait, no, where is my sexy hot doctor? A pair of eyes. They were peering at me through the gap in the door. The eyes almost blending into the shadowy gap, but there was no mistaking them. They were watching me. Right, okay, let me save. Because I see that quick save. Yeah, quick save. Let me do 2 slots, okay. Because knowing this, there's going to be multiple endings depending on the choices I pick. So, let me write down what I picked, actually, so I can streamline this. Yeah, let's threaten. Yeah, don't mess with me. I lost my memories, yo. You don't know what I'm gonna do to you. I'm crazy. I'm unhinged right now. You don't want to mess with me. I'm not gonna let this creep scare me. Ahem. Oh, let me drink some water for this. Hey, I see you. I know karate. Yeah, karate. So you better back off. Those eyes stay fixed on me, as if testing my courage. Ooh, why did you have to zoom in? Why? I squint, trying to focus on the narrow gap of the door. I can't make sense of what was happening. Was someone actually watching me? Am I imagining things? Oh, I don't like that. Ew, I don't like that. Nope. Yeah, nope. No. I don't like that. No, that was weird. No. We are not brave in this. Then, in a moment of clarity, I remembered the call button beside my bed. It was right there, within reach, my lifeline to help. I fumbled for it with trembling hands, my fingers finally finding the button. The instant I pressed it, the eyes vanished. One moment they were there, and the next they were gone, as if they had never existed. I quickly sat up in bed, staring at the door. The gap was now empty. I listened carefully, and then I heard it. The soft sound of footsteps, light and hurried, moving away down the hall. My pulse quickened, my mind reeling from what had just happened. Within seconds, Dr. Anselm enters the room. I came as fast as I could. His eyes immediately swept the room, searching for some unseen threats. I could see concern in his expression as he turned to me. Is everything all right? You pressed the call button. Did something happen? Someone was... I saw eyes staring at me, and they vanished the moment I pressed the button. I watched his eyes scan the room. He walked over to the door, glanced into the hallway before turning back to me. There doesn't seem to be anyone. You know, sometimes when you're exhausted, we see things that aren't really there. It's not unusual, especially under a lot of stress. I shook my head. No, I'm sure of what I saw. They were right there. I even heard footsteps leaving after I pressed the button. Don't worry. I'll have someone check the security cameras to see if anyone was in the hall. For now, try to get some rest. I promise nothing bad is going to happen to you. He gave me a reassuring smile before leaving, but I could see the uncertainty in his eyes. Doctor, don't leave me. As the door closed, I lay back down. I glanced at the door, half expecting to see those eyes again. I knew I wouldn't be able to sleep now, not after what I saw. Before I knew it, morning had arrived. I must have fell asleep somehow, despite the restless unease from the night before. I still feel exhausted. A soft glow of sunlight filtered into the room. As I blinked against the brightness, I realized that Dr. Anselm was sitting beside me. Oh, hi, Doctor. Yes, good morning to you too. How thoughtful of you. Good morning, Nugget. How are you feeling? I'm okay. Even as I said it, a deep weariness tugged at me. But I didn't want to worry him. He always seemed so concerned, so invested in my recovery. The last thing I wanted was to add to his burden. About last night. Security couldn't find anything from last night's recording. His words hung in the air. What? Those eyes. Had it really been all in my head? Just a figment of my imagination? But I do hope you managed to get some sleep. I hesitated, unsure of how to respond. All right, let's do insist. Insist. All right, yeah, insist. My breath hitched and anger flared in my chest. Are you serious? I snapped, my voice louder, harsher than I meant. I could feel the frustration boiling over, too intense to hold back. There was someone there, Dr. Anselm. I wasn't imagining it. I could feel them watching me. And you're telling me there's no proof? How am I supposed to sleep knowing that creep is still in this building? Dr. Anselm looked sad. Like my reaction wounded him somehow. He opened his mouth to say something. but no words came out for a moment, and the silence between us grew thick with tension. I'll talk to them again later. His voice softer now, as though my anger had deflated him. I promise. I'll dig deeper into this. I don't want you feeling unsafe. He paused, a quiet sadness in his eyes that I couldn't fully understand. You're right. I'll make sure they take a closer look. Trying to focus on something else, I reminded him. About the call you promised last night. To my family? Of course, I remember. I promise, and I always keep my promises. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a hospital phone, handing it over to you. Here you go. Let's get that call made. I eagerly take the phone. I dial the familiar numbers and press the phone to my ear. The phone rings once, then twice, and keeps ringing. I wait holding my breath, but no one answers. Just a persistent sound of the ringtone, and then, finally,
hello, no one is available to take your call.
The voicemail.
Leave a message
After the tone. Beep! The voicemail. Seriously? I feel a sinking feeling in my gut as the call goes to the answering machine. I lower the phone. I can't hide the disappointment on my face. I don't even try to mask it. No one answered. Dr. Anselm places a comforting hand on my shoulder, grounding me in the present. His touch was warm, comforting. I looked up, and his expression mirrored the sadness I felt. I'm sorry. I know how much you wanted to speak with them. Maybe they're busy is all, don't worry. I sigh, trying to push down the disappointment. Yeah, you're right. I tried to sound convincing, but the emptiness lingered. Dr. Anselm gently took the phone from me, his fingers brushing against mine. Ooh, I know it's not the news you were hoping for, but I have something that might cheer you up. Before I could respond, he stood up, the shift in energy catching me off guard. With that, he steps out of the room for a moment. Something for me? Whatever he had planned, I hope it would help take my mind off everything, even if just for a little while. He returned, carrying a tray with a delicious aroma wafting through the air. Ta-da! Whoa, okay. When he sets it down in front of you. Oh, it's a smiley face! Ah! Oh, that's so cute. I look down at the plate. Eggs and bacon arranged into a smiley face. Oh, doctor, you're so thoughtful. My eyes widen in surprise, a small smile tugging at my lips. I can't help but smile back at it. Oh, this is adorable. It's like my breakfast is cheering me on. Dr. Anselm chuckles, looking quite pleased with himself. Eggs and bacon are good for the soul. But the smiley face, that's for the spirits. Dr. Anselm watches me closely as I picked up my fork, his eyes gleaming with quiet anticipation. As I lift the fork to my mouth, I noticed a smooth golden sauce pooling at the bottom of the pan, hidden beneath the food. Feeling intrigued, I scoop a bit of it up with my next bite. The moment it hits my tongue, the flavor deepens. Rich, creamy hollandaise sauce with a hint of tang that perfectly balances the savory bacon and eggs. The sauce elevates the meal in a way I hadn't expected. This is amazing. I'm almost at a disbelief at how delicious this simple meal is. I take it the smiley face is working its magic. Definitely. But the taste? That's what's really winning me over. The hollandaise sauce adds this smooth, almost buttery richness. There's a big grin on Dr. Anselm's face. He's clearly pleased with my reaction. I thought the sauce might be a nice surprise. Adds a little something extra to bring it all together. You weren't kidding. I take another bite, savoring the way the creamy sauce cuts through the richness of the bacon. You could serve this at a restaurant. I've never had breakfast like this in a hospital before. Well, I just wanted to make sure your first meal felt special. I pause, looking down at the plate again, then back at him. Wait, did you make this? Mm-hmm. He nods, looking a little embarrassed. A soft blush creeps onto his cheeks as he looks down at the floor for a moment before meeting our eyes. Yes, I did. I know hospital food isn't exactly known for being well, gourmet. I didn't want your first meal just to be survival food. I smile at his clear embarrassment, noticing the way he fidgets slightly. Like he's not used to this kind of attention. Well, you really outdid yourself. Thank you, Dr. Anselm. I really appreciate how much you do to make me feel comfortable, despite everything. It's like you always know how to make things better. I watched him flush at the compliment. This time, he seemed almost bashfully proud, a mix of shyness and happiness sparkling in his eyes. Well, I'm really glad to hear that. I'll always make sure you're as comfortable as possible while you're here. Hearing that it's helping, that it makes a difference. It means a lot to me. So really, thank you for saying that. His genuine happiness really shone through. It was clear that my compliment had brightened his day in a way that went beyond mere politeness. As I'm about to finish the last bite of breakfast, my eyes drift to the cup of coffee sitting quietly on the tray. I hadn't noticed it the whole time I was enjoying my breakfast, black, steaming, and inviting. I reach for the cup, taking a tentative sip. I instantly paused. Don't tell me the coffee is spiked. It's rich, smooth, just with the right hint of bitterness. It's not just good. It tastes exactly like the coffee I make. Well, maybe coincidentally, let's not go south. And maybe coincidentally, he knew how to make it. Maybe he had contact with the family or something. Wait, no, because the family never visited. But here's the thing though, maybe it was just a coincidence. He just happened to make the right concoction of coffee. Not close, not similar, exactly. Right, okay, see, that is concerning. Wait, this tastes exactly like the coffee I make every morning. How is that even possible? I know. His voice barely above a whisper. No, come on, doctor, I was rooting for you. I was hoping you were like a normal dating sim, like you take care of patient fall in love with doctor get feeling for patient, doctor make baby, the end, happy. I thought, I thought it was gonna be like that. Don't tell me I was right on you being a psycho. His voice barely above a whisper. So quiet that I almost wonder if I imagined it. He's standing there, his usual calm demeanor in place. But there's something different in the way he watches me. What was that? The words slipping out before I can stop them. He just smiles, a warm, casual smile. Like nothing is out of the ordinary. Oh? Really? I narrow my eyes, still processing the shock. No one ever gets it right the first time. Not the exact strength or balance of flavors. I take another slow sip, almost searching for a flaw. There isn't one. This is spot on. Maybe I'm just good at reading people. Maybe you are so good at your role that you are good at definitely reading people, yeah. Definitely not a psychopath. His tone light, like he's just making conversation. But his words send a shiver down my spine. Though I can't quite pinpoint why. Either that, or you've got some kind of sixth sense. It's kind of uncanny. I shake my head, trying to clear my thoughts. Am I overthinking this? I mean, it is just coffee. There's no need to make a big deal out of it. He's made me breakfast, not to mention been nothing but kind to me. Why am I doubting him? It's just a harmless coincidence, it has to be. He chuckles, the sound light and breezy. Let's call it a lucky guess. You just strike me as someone who enjoys strong coffee. But I'm glad I can make something right for you. All right, yeah, yeah, his words are genuine. I hope they are. Yeah, I really hope they are. I suddenly feel guilty for letting my mind wander like that. He's been so considerate. Maybe I'm reading too much into things. I take another sip of coffee, feeling the warmth spread through me. There's no way he meant anything strange by it. I think to myself, relaxing a bit. He's just trying to make my stay a little more bearable, going above and beyond because he cares. I shouldn't doubt him. He's done nothing but try to help. As I set the cup down, I glanced back at Dr. Anselm, who's watching with that same gentle smile. The warmth of the coffee lingers on my tongue, and the unsettling thoughts fade into the background. Thanks, Dr. Anselm. It does make a difference. You're very welcome, Nugget. As he glances at his watch, his expression shifts ever so slightly. You should probably get some rest now. He says as though he's reminding me of something important. You've had a long morning, and it's important you don't overexert yourself. I'm fine. Dr. Anselm smiles, but there's a firmness in his gaze that makes it clear he's not going to entertain any arguments. I know you're strong, but you still need time to heal. Pushing yourself won't help. He steps closer, his hand lightly brushing the edge of the blanket as he adjusts it over my legs. There's a tenderness in the gesture, something careful and deliberate. You need to take it easy. An unexpected wave of fatigue hits me, leaving me more tired than I anticipated. Whoa, am I experiencing the effects of a food coma? I sigh, feeling the pull of drowsiness become harder to resist. As if sensing my thoughts, he offers me a reassuring smile. I'll be back to check on you later. All right. With that, he quietly leaves the room, closing the door gently behind him. I'm probably having a food coma. Dr. Anselm did say I need lots of rest. I closed my eyes and nuzzled my face against the pillows. Time slips by. I'm finally awake from my peaceful nap. I rub my eyes, trying to shake off the drowsiness. Something catches my attention. Oh boy, here we go. The door to my room is slightly ajar. Why is the door left open like that? Was it? No, I'm sure I saw Dr. Anselm close the door before he left. Was somebody watching me sleep? The sight of the partially open door leaves me feeling on edge. I feel vulnerable, exposed. I sit up, heart thudding in my chest, trying to rationalize the situation. Maybe it's nothing, maybe. Then suddenly, the door creaks open wider. A figure steps into the room. Oh God, hello, doctor. It's Dr. Anselm. Knock, knock. Smiling warmly, holding a clipboard in one hand and a small tray with medication in the other. I'm here for your checkup and medication. He notices the fear etched on my face. You look terrified. What's wrong? With my heart still racing, I explained quickly. I was taking a nap, and when I woke up, the door to my room slightly open. It reminded me about what I saw last night. His face changes slightly to one of guilt. His gaze drops to the floor. Oh, I'm so sorry, Nugget. I came in here earlier to clear away the tray and utensils from your breakfast. I saw you were sleeping, so I tried to leave quietly to not disturb your sleep. I must not have shut the door tightly. I'm really sorry. That must have been so frightening for you. I glance over and realize he's right. The breakfast tray is gone. I hadn't even noticed in my initial panic. Oh, a sense of embarrassment creeps in as I realize I may have overreacted. No, I'm sorry, Dr. Anselm. I think last night left me feeling a little paranoid is all. He shakes his head. No need to apologize. It's completely understandable to feel uneasy. I should have been more careful. Your comfort and peace of mind are very important. I'm sorry for disturbing that. Thank you, Dr. Anselm. I guess I just need some time to adjust. Of course. Oh, he moves in closer. Oh, yes, please. Oh, check my vitals. He moves in closer to check my vitals. Let's get your checkup done, shall we? I promise, I'll make sure to close the door properly next time. He places a tray of medication on the small table next to me. My eyes fall on the pills. So many pills. What are these for? He lifts a small plastic cup and shakes it lightly, making the pills inside rattle softly. Oh, these? They're painkillers and antibiotics. Given your injury, it's expected that you'll still experience headaches and occasional bouts of pain. The painkillers will help you recover comfortably while you're here. He pauses for a moment before adding, leaning back slightly as if considering the best way to explain. Now these, he holds up a larger white and red pill between his fingers, are a bit stronger. A narcotic analgesic. It's a potent painkiller used for intense pain, so don't be alarmed if you find yourself feeling more sleepy than usual. He points at the antibiotic, ensuring you're following along, then continues. Since I had to perform surgery on you, there's always a risk of infection, and I wouldn't want that happening to you. These will help minimize that risk, ensuring your recovery stays on track. I see. I feel more at ease with the explanation. Thank you for taking the time to explain it to me. Of course. It's important for you to understand your treatments. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to ask. Your recovery is my top priority. Speaking of recovery, a question sits heavily on my chest. How long do you think I'll take to make a full recovery? He lets out a gentle sigh before responding. Well, honestly, it's hard for me to say for sure. We can't push it or predict exactly how long it'll take. Some people heal faster than others. But when it comes to the brain, patience is key. It could take weeks, or even months. Seeing the concern on my face, he quickly adds with a soft smile, I know it's not easy to hear. With injuries, especially ones like yours, we have to be patient. I need to ensure you can get back to your family life safely. When you're ready to leave. I notice a hint of sadness in his eyes when he mentions the possibility of me leaving. It's a fleeting expression, but I caught on. Then just as quickly, he just brushes it off, his professional demeanor returning, offering the same reassuring smile, although it seems a bit forced this time. As always, your recovery is what's most important right now, no matter how long it takes. I can't shake the feeling that there's more behind his words. Still, I decide not to press further. Dr. Anselm quickly changes the subject. Let's get you settled in with some dinner, shall we? He steps over to a small cart, lifting a bowl with a lid. Oh, he sets it down in front of me and lifts the cover to reveal a bowl of plain porridge. Compared to the delicious breakfast he made earlier, the porridge looks a bit bland. I can't help but feel a twinge of disappointment. Look, he gave us good food, right, for our first meal, but we need to have soft foods that won't overexert our bodies so we can recover. He's being mindful. He's being very demure about this. He chuckles at your reaction. I'm sorry, it's not quite the same as breakfast, is it? I can't always be spoiling you. Porridge is good for you. It's gentle on the stomach and easy to digest. I understand the need for a simple meal, even though it's not as appetizing. He gives me an encouraging smile as I pick up the spoon. Who knows? Maybe I'll surprise you with another special breakfast soon. I can't help but smile back. I'll hold you onto that. The taste may be bland, but the warmth and care behind make it a comforting meal. After finishing the porridge, I start to feel the heaviness of drowsiness creeping in. Must be the medications kicking in. I struggle to keep my eyelids open. Dr. Anselm, always observant, notices my struggle to stay awake. Let me take this away so you can get a good night's rest. He moves quietly, carefully gathering up the dish and tray. Okay. You'll be back in the morning, right? Oh, why, of course. I'll be here in the morning to check on you. Sweet dreams, Nuggets. All right. Good night. Yeah. Oh, wow, I actually yawned. Wow. I actually yawned. Okay. Wow. As the room dims, I hear him softly shutting the door behind him. A simple assurance that the room is secure and safe. With the door closed, I finally allowed myself to sleep. The world around me fades. When my eyes open again, I'm not in my room. What? I'm standing in a narrow alleyway. The air is thick, hazy, making it hard to see much of anything. I start walking, my footsteps barely making a sound in the eerie quiet. Something about this place feels familiar. almost like I've been here before, but I can't quite put my finger on it. The more I move, the more the sensation gnaws at me, tugging at something deep in my mind. Then it clicks. I'm dreaming. The realization brings a strange comfort, but also a deeper confusion. Why does this place seem so familiar? I keep walking, looking for an exit, but the alleyway stretches endlessly for me. No doors, no windows, no one else in sight. Then suddenly, I hear extra footsteps echoing behind me. I'm not alone. My heart skips a beat. Just as I'm about to turn around. Oh my god. My eyes snap open and I wake up. Oh, hi, doctor. You're so close. Oh, are you ready to do CPR on me? I'm immediately greeted by the sight of Dr. Anselm's face, inches away from mine. We both yelp at the same time, startled. He jumps back so fast, he nearly knocks over the tray beside my bed. His eyes are wide with shock, and he looks as flustered as I feel. My heart's still pounding in my chest, not just from the dream, but from having him this close to my face. I open my mouth, but no words come out, feeling shy under his gaze. My words feel heavy and misplaced, as if they'd only make this moment more awkward. Sorry, he stammers, quickly standing upright. I didn't mean to scare you. I watch his hands fidget nervously. I was just checking your vitals and you look so peaceful, and it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I mumble, cheeks warm. Then suddenly I'm unable to look directly at him. The room feels suddenly too small. There's a bit of silence before he quickly recovers. So, how was your sleep? It was weird, actually. I had this dream about an alleyway. Something flickers across his face. A slight shift in his expression, like he's suddenly paying extra attention. An alleyway? What happened? I shrug, still feeling a bit off from the dream. I was just walking and then I heard footsteps behind me, like someone was following me. But I woke up before I could turn around. He listens carefully. Eyes focus on me like he's considering something. There's a moment where I think he might ask more, but he doesn't. He gives a small chuckle. Does sound like a strange dream, but dreams are usually made up of random thoughts and feelings all mixed together. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I release a breath I didn't realize I was holding. Yeah, you're right. Thanks for that, Dr. Anselm. Of course. He gestures to a small tray on the bedside table. Anyway, I brought you breakfast. I hope you're hungry. Is that Sam? Yeah, salmon and rice. I look over, noticing a bowl of salmon and rice, though some of it has spilled onto the tray. His eyes widen in horror as he notices the mess. Oh no, I didn't realize. I'm so sorry. I can bring you a fresh one. It won't take long. Before he can leave, I reach out, my hand gently stopping him. No, it's fine, really. I want to eat it. It looks delicious. I pick up the spoon and take a bite. The buttery taste of the salmon immediately fills my mouth, and I smile at him. See, it's perfect. I say, my words muffled slightly by the food. His face softens, the guilt fading from his face. He watches me for a moment. There's something tender in his gaze that makes my chest warm. I'm glad you're enjoying it, even if it's not exactly how I planned. After savoring the final spoonful of breakfast, I wipe my mouth and glance at Dr. Anselm, who is busy tidying up the tray. Hey, Dr. Anselm? Right, okay, let me save. I feel like if we try calling the family again, he'll give us the phone and it'll send us back to voicemail. But I want to see how he responds to us actually going out. Like, can I go outside of this safe space? I want to see how he reacts. If he overreacts, definitely serial killer material. If he says sure, then the suspicion is lowered a little bit. So I just need a change of scenery, stretch my legs a bit. He immediately stops what he's doing and turns to me. I'm afraid you can't do that yet. You're still not fit enough to exert yourself. I furrow my brow slightly. Not even walking? I ask, trying to push a little, thinking it wouldn't be much effort. His stance doesn't soften. If anything, he seems more resolute, even walking. The finality in his voice tone makes it clear that he's not going to budge on this. Just outside my room? Absolutely not. Oh. There's a hardness in his expression that catches me off guard. Oh, I am very sorry, Doctor. I didn't mean to push you. For a brief moment, I felt a small flicker of fear. But just as quickly as it came, the intensity melts away, and his usual gentle demeanor returns. Yeah, no, there's something wrong with the doctor. There's something wrong with him. There's something wrong with him. It's for your own good. Even a short walk could set you back. I need to make sure you're fully recovered before you go exerting yourself. His explanation is calm, but the memory of that sudden shift lingers. Still, I nod, remembering myself that the doctor knows best for me. Or reminding myself. Very good. The firmness in his voice now replaced with the tone of approval. I sink back into the bed, exhaling softly. But I'm suddenly overwhelmed by the sense of sleep. Yeah, okay, see, how are we over? This is the, second time in a row? Third time in a row. We are overwhelmed with sleepiness with things that you have given us. I'm calling it. He's spiking the food to make us sleep. Oh, no. This is a bad situation. But I'm suddenly overwhelmed by the sense of no, because there's no goddamn way you are sleepy from salmon and a bowl of rice. I don't care how much you eat, that salmon and a bowl of rice should not give you a food coma. I don't care how much of it you eat. Like, there's no way. There's no way. He is putting something in our food. Wait, did I take my medication? No, you did not. The thought flows lazily in my mind, feeling distant and hard to grasp. I try to focus on Dr. Anselm, but his figure starts to blur. My vision slowly fading at the edges, and the room seems to spin. Before I can form a coherent question, I feel the warmth of his hand as he gently pulls the blanket over me, tucking me in with gentle care, but it all feels distant. I want to speak, but my body feels heavy, and my thoughts scatter. I'm pulled into sleep before I even realize it's happening. I gasp awake, my breath catching as I sit up. I blink, trying to gather my bearings. My head foggy, like I'm still caught in a dream. I sit up slowly, the weight of fatigue still pressing down on me like a heavy blanket. How long was I asleep for? Oh, good evening, Nugget. I look up startled. It's Dr. Anselm. Yeah, he kind of scared me a little bit. I rub my eyes, trying to shake off the grogginess. Evening? My voice scratchy, trying to shake the fog from my mind. How long was I asleep for? Only a few hours. You needed the rest. Or you spiked my food and forced me to rest, Doctor. How are you feeling? I paused, trying to assess myself. Groggy. Really groggy. I admit, the words slow to form. Why do I feel so tired? I ask, my voice a little sharper than I intended. I mean, after breakfast, I was exhausted. He doesn't flinch or seem surprised by my question. Instead, he pulls up a chair and sits beside me. The same steady patience in his expression that he always has. Fatigue is one of the most challenging symptoms after a brain injury. The brain has to work much harder to compensate for the damage. Even for the smallest tasks, it can drain your energy faster than you realize. His explanation is so calm, so reasonable that I find myself nodding almost automatically. I mean, it does make sense. It does make sense, but is that actually true? Look, main character. He is gaslighting us very, very hardcore right now. Super gaslighting us right now. And I am okay with this because he is a hot doctor. He is very, very hot. Of course it makes sense. Then why do I still feel unsettled? It's not unusual to feel exhausted out of nowhere in your circumstances. Your brain is basically working overtime as you recover. It's important to listen to it, to give yourself that rest when you need it. I'm nodding, but something inside me is stirring. Something uneasy. My gut tells me there's more. Something he's not saying, but his eyes, warm and kind, don't falter. He pauses briefly, giving the small cup of pills in his hand a gentle shake. Here we go. It's time for your medication. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like the defining choice, right? So I'm going to write down what I picked and then I'm going to save. So, we'll accept it. I take it from him. The pills rolling slightly in the plastic as I tilt the cup in my hand. These will help. You've been pushing yourself. Your body needs the support. I nod, lifting the cup to my lips. The pills go down easily with a sip of water. The taste familiar, leaving a bitterness on my tongue like always. I feel a little more at ease as the fog in my mind starts to clear, if only slightly. Good. Don't worry. I will take care of you. You'll start to feel better soon. There's something always so reassuring about him. His quiet patience. The way he never seems frustrated, even when I ask the same questions over and over. It's like he understands without needing me to explain. It's like as if he's holding me captive and gaslighting me without me knowing. Yep. Thank you. I say softly, sinking back into the bed, the sheets cool against my skin. My eyes are still heavy, but I'm less tense now, more at ease. His presence always seems to have that effect on me. Dr. Anselm stays seated beside me for a moment longer. Then he stands softly, as if not wanting to disturb the calm that settled over the room. If you need anything, just press the call button. I'll always be here for you. As the door closes softly behind him, the room feels quieter, but in a peaceful way. Like all the tension has been drained away. I pulled a blanket up around me, feeling safe, cared for, and finally ready to rest. Dr. Anselm's words linger in my mind as I close my eyes. I'll always be here for you. With that thought, I let go of the last of my worries and let sleep take over, trusting that when I wake, I'll still be in good hands. Oh, okay. That was it for the demo? Okay, fine. I want to see, though. I want to see if rejecting the medication does anything. Let's reject. I stare at the small cup of pills in Dr. Anselm's hand. I don't know why, but today, the sight of those pills make my chest tighten with dread. He's watching me, waiting patiently. But something inside me snaps. No. I'm not taking them. I slapped the cup away from his hands, and the pills scattered across the floor. What the hell have you been giving me, Dr. Anselm? I feel exhausted all the time. I can barely think straight. And you just keep handing me these pills like it's nothing. These are your prescribed medications, Nugget. They help manage your symptoms and reduce the pain. Without them, I don't trust you. How do I know they're not making everything worse? What if you're keeping something from me? Dr. Anselm looks stunned, but it's the sadness in his eyes that stands out. It's subtle, just beneath the surface, like he's holding it back, trying to stay composed. I'm not trying to hurt you. The medication is to help you recover. Without it, the pain will come back. I just can't bear to watch you suffer. But I'm not listening. The mistrust that's been festering inside me has reached its boiling point. I'm not taking them. I don't trust you. Dr. Anselm nods, his face falling just slightly as if my words weighed heavily on him. He looks at me for a long moment, something unspoken in his eyes, an almost pleading sadness. For a moment, I expect him to argue, to push back, but he doesn't. He sighs, stepping back. I won't force you. He stands holding the now empty cup, his eyes locking with mine. There's no anger in his gaze, just quiet sadness. as though he's trying to remain strong but fully hide how deeply my rejection has cut him. He turns towards the door, moving slowly, almost reluctantly. As he reaches the doorway, he pauses, his hand resting on the handle. If you change your mind, I'll be right here. His voice soft, but I can hear the pain in it. I'll never stop trying to help you. Then, with one final glance, he leaves the room. The door clicks shut behind him, leaving me alone with my racing thoughts and the lingering tension. The room feels colder, emptier. I sit in the silence, the air thick with the tension of what just happened. My anger still simmers beneath the surface, but the moment Dr. Anselm leaves, doubt creeps in. I know I shouldn't have lashed out like that, but something inside me just couldn't let go of the distrust. With nothing left to do, I let out a long, shaky breath, trying to shake off the exhaustion that still weighs me down. Maybe I just need rest. Maybe everything will feel clearer if I can just sleep this off. Oh no. But almost immediately, a sharp stabbing pain erupts inside my skull, so intense that it rips a gasp from my throat. The pain is so unbearable, instant and overwhelming. It's as if something inside my head is clawing, tearing, ripping to break free. I clutch my head in my hand, squeezing hard as if I can somehow crush the pain away. But it's useless. Ooh, my vision blurs and darkens, the room twisting and warping around me. I can barely see. I need help. I need to call someone. I reach blindly for the call button, but my fingers are trembling so bad they feel useless, slipping across the bedside table in desperation. The call button tumbles from my hand, bouncing uselessly onto the floor. I know I have to move. I have to get help before this pain rips me apart. I force myself to stand, stumbling forward like a puppet whose strings have been cut. My legs give out beneath me, the world spinning as I fall. Crunch. The sound is horrible. A wet snapping noise that reverberates through my body. It's as if something inside me snapped, but I don't know what. My neck, my spine? I hit the floor, crumbling in a heap. What happened? Nuggets. Nuggets! I barely registered the sound of someone calling out of my name. I can't move. I can't breathe. Please stay with me, Nugget. Nugget! This is all my fault. Please, Nugget, don't. But I can still hear them, barely, calling out to me again, their voice breaking, filled with immense desperation. My head bangs to the side, heavy and limp in their arms. The warmth tightens around me, holding me close. But I'm slipping. And then, complete silence. We died! Okay. I don't want the pills. Dies. I walked out the bed, I stepped, and I died. Okay, thanks. Okay, so I was thinking that like the other choices before would probably give me a different ending, but I think that was a different ending outcome. Do I take the pills or do I not take the pills? And then that's what happens. But on the demo page, it did say that there were only like 2 endings, so I think I got those 2 endings. But yeah, this is a very short, sweet prescription love game, but I'm very sus of the doctor. I'm actually excited. If you want to see me play this full game when it releases, let me know down in the comments below. This is very interesting. Like, I like how it gives you doubts about him, because I have this inkling feeling like, yes, he's the one that's like drugging us and making us feel this way. And I like how that alternate ending was like, I told you so, you should have taken the pills, you know? Like, it has that like I told you so feeling, and that he was actually trying to help us. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. This is, ooh. I like this though. I like this. This is very interesting. Do I trust the doctor? Is he actually gaslighting me? Am I actually a patient, or am I a captive in his basement? Who knows? Find out next time on Prescription Love. You know, like, I'm so invested in this. But anyways, regardless, that was a demo. Very long, very good demo, and I'm hooked already. But regardless, thank you guys so much for joining me on this demo playthrough of Prescription Love. Hope you have an awesome Valentine's month and an awesome day. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Everything's fine. We just gotta find Gregory. Everything's fine. We just gotta